reached 1,000 downloads.
What's a download?
God damn it, Adam!
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
But wasting our time is what we do. We're very good at it, especially 1 hour. Instead of a useful, productive hour, it'll be replaced with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. With that said, if for some god-awful reason you enjoy wasting more of the precious little time you have on this earth, like, I don't know, waiting for the earth to naturally cool down, search for Another Wasted Hour on all social media sites. Share, follow, mention, like, and review us. And please subscribe to Another Wasted Hour on iTunes, Google Play Music, or Stitcher. And, well, review us there, too. Our goal is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture, as impossible as that may seem. So, listeners, now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith, and across from me is my co-host, Victor. Victor, why are you here this week?
I am so fucking sick of those goddamn fidget spinners.
Yeah.
What the fuck are those stupid little pieces of whatever they are?
Right. They help you focus on a fidget spinner.
Right. That is, I work at a school.
Yeah.
And the principal had to send a note home, email, note in the backpacks, everything via child, via electronics, sometimes via phone. The note was the most sarcastic thing ever. It was like, fidget spinners are there to help a child focus. They do exactly that. They focus on the motherfucking spinner. If we see them, they are confiscated and thrown out. You don't get them back. We don't care how much they cost.
Right. I'm going to get a fidget taser.
I have
That's
nice.
Just like as soon as they stop focusing on the lecture, it just goes, ah! Like, oh, hey, it helps with focus.
Fear is real good.
Right. They'll learn because they are flinching.
Like every time they just hear that little thing spinning, like a brick just flies from off screen and hits them in the head.
Yeah, I haven't understood how this trend has come around. First of all, I don't know.
And it's not like they haven't been around for a while. That's a pretty old contraption.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like brand new technology. It's like ball bearings.
That said, I did spin one, and I sat there. I was like, yeah, I could do this for a while.
Yeah, right. But
Fucking hate
nothing
them.
else.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is it's not. You're not like, I want to pay attention in a meeting. Like that's not what comes to your head.
Not to be done in traffic.
Yeah, right. That's why you can't do it while you're driving.
Right. So my irritation aside, Keith, why are you here?
Well, I'm curious. I wanted to put a poll out to find out if perhaps ISIS is running out of money. I don't think they are, but their last attack, they just drove a van into some people, jumped out and started stabbing them with knives. So I assume they can't afford bombs or guns anymore. Or perhaps they're de-escalating.
Okay.
That's good. I mean, that's great because that means like next one, they're going to pull up on like an 8-person bike, right? And then they'll jump off and just hit people with pillows, right? And people are like, oh my God, this is fun. That's
inconvenient.
That's pleasant. That was kind of nice, actually. And,
Feathers.
Yeah. I have ice cream. Oh, thank you. That's really... You know what? Maybe I'll become Muslim at this point. Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't think you could handle that many wives.
I couldn't handle one. That is true. So yeah, we'll have to look into that to find out why they've taken a different route. It seems like it's going to be soon. They're just going to be like doing colored pencil things. Like,
they're going to start passing out like coloring books.
Yeah, and then like coloring outside the lines, like and like oh no, that's not even the right color for a flower, you asshole. Terrorism's fun.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of fun
and
terrorists,
now we've gotten really offensive.
Yeah, speaking of fun terrorists, we happen to have from the band Roundabout, Patrick from Roundabout.
Oh, Patrick from Roundabout.
Best intro ever.
Yeah.
Terrorist. I was told there'd be call girls. That's why I'm here.
There are call girls, but they're
Okay.
busy on calls.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
So
Just remember, when they're dead, they're just hookers.
Right.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I need to make an appointment, is what you're saying.
What do you call a collection of call girls?
I don't know, like a bundle?
I was going to say an orgy of them, but yeah, that sounds good. A bundle.
Orgy of call girls.
Yeah.
They're in bundles after you kill them, hack them up, and throw them in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. It's that's.
But then they're not call girls anymore, so we
sad.
can't call
They're
them a
hookers.
bundle of call. Or
It'd be a
bundle of hookers.
at that
Bundle of
point.
hookers.
Yeah.
All right.
I've ruined everything.
You have. Something else you might be ruining is I hear that you have a show coming up
And a solid transition.
on Saturday, June 17th at the Westover Market in Arlington, Virginia. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Westover is a great place for local bands. Very communal, very family oriented.
Is it an actual market?
It is an actual market with a big patio and they brew their own beer, and it's delicious. And kids come, dogs come.
That doesn't sound family friendly at all.
Chicks with bricks come.
Yeah.
Sure, exactly.
Have you ever read Fox and Socks?
It's
What kinds of things do they sell at this market besides beer?
it's actually a grocery store.
It's a grocery store. It's just a normal grocery store except music and beer.
Yeah, exactly. And
This is the greatest grocery store ever.
yeah, and
Right.
they have music multiple nights a week, and it's just a nice change of pace for us as a band from the dirty, smelly clubs
Yeah.
to the outdoor, family-friendly environment.
And
There's
you can eat while you're playing.
That's right. I mean, sometimes there's little
Can you?
kids dancing right in front of you, and they,
Oh, cool.
in the past, we finish a song and they just stop staring
Be
at us.
careful with that because I've learned from years of playing live, no matter how good you are,
Yeah.
no matter how strong of a stage presence you have,
Yeah.
everyone will watch a 4-year-old.
That's right.
That 4-year-old is dancing, and they'll be like, "Look at the 4-year-old!" You could be rocking out. You could have like fire shooting out from behind you, and they'd be like, "Check out the 4-year-old."
But when they're right in front of us, we just project they're actually looking at us, and it's all in our heads.
Right? You're like, "We brought a dancer."
It's always easier to perform with that 4-year-old energy.
Yeah, I've always thought of just hiring like 8 4-year-olds just to dance in front of the stage, and then we would be just gangbusters. No one would even pay attention to us. They'd hire us everywhere because
You guys sound great. What did you play again? What type of music
Yeah, I
was
don't. Are you guys the ones with the 4-year-olds?
it? Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you guys are
Oh, I
awesome.
love
Where those
that.
little kids go?
You also have
We sell them at the end of the show.
That's right.
We give them away by raffle.
Free CD.
right. They're beer holders technically. It's like a koozie.
They are the most expensive, awful, terrible maids you'll ever have.
Right. Yeah, you know those koozies that keep your beer cold? These are like that, but they're warmer and they spill it all over the place.
Exactly.
Oh,
And rarely
okay.
do they even listen.
Right. You also have a show Friday, June 30th at the Bump and Grind Coffee in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Yeah, little acoustic duo thing. Always, we've actually never played there before, but it's a super cool place. We look forward to it. As you probably know, every now and then when you take a break from the band, it lets you stretch out other things and try other muscles and figure out other things about songs that you didn't realize were happening.
I'm concerned what you do while you're playing if you're stretching muscles.
Aha.
Because I don't think I've ever stretched a muscle playing music. I've just been like,
Really?
I'm going to sit here and be quiet and drink this alcohol.
But see, the difference between you and me
Yes.
is that you are a quality musician who plays an instrument and knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Me, will call me above average, so I rely on be as entertaining as possible. I was always climbing on shit, taking off clothes,
That's
dancing
fair.
around. So I pulled a lot of stuff.
I've done that, I guess. I mean, I did smash a guitar on the 930 Club stage. So
Nice.
I don't think I stretched a muscle, though.
That's rock star.
Yeah. Well, I had an opportunity and I took it.
That's right.
Exactly. You have to do that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to break shit.
And finally, you're playing Saturday, July 15th at Rio in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Yes.
What is Rio? Is that a club?
That's that's actually another outdoor gig. It's it's right on a man-made lake. It's like a big shopping facility.
Is there sand that you can dance on?
There are goose boats
Oh, okay.
that you can
That
ride.
little paddle boats.
Yeah, I like the
exactly.
paddle
Squeak,
boats.
squeak, squeak.
And
Can they hear you while they're paddling around?
well, it's the damnedest thing. Even though we're in the middle of this sort of marketplace, we've played there before, and the people just come and they sit down and they watch you the whole 2 hours.
Really?
We assume there'd be the walk by, the shopping, the eating
Yeah.
of the dinner, completely packed full of people just watching us do our thing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So are you playing one of the places in there, or are
Yeah.
you playing outside?
It's like a plaza. It's like
I've been to Rio. We played at I forget which restaurant it was, but it had a big stage, and there were like all of 2.5 people in there
yeah. It's,
the night we played.
So, yeah, which of these are you most looking forward to? That's gonna be the question I
well,
have.
we played Westover a couple times every summer, basically for the entire band's life. So that's always it's always a treat for us. It's got a built-in crowd, and again, a lot of our friends, since our band is in its late 30s collectively.
Yeah.
Lots of children, lots of I don't want to come at late at night.
Right.
So the afternoon show I can bring my kids to and drink beer. It's a win for everybody.
Excellent. So that's Saturday, June 17th. If people want more news or information about these shows, they can go up to roundaboutrocks.com, correct?
The very one.
Excellent. And they can also listen to some music. We'll be listening to some of your music later. We'll have a snippet later on in the show. And if you want to hear the entire track, you can right now pause this podcast, fast forward to the 1 hour mark, and listen to Roundabout. What song would they be hearing?
It's called My Grand Designs.
All right. So without further ado, then, for the time being, we'll take a respite away from the music and go into the news.
So, this is what we call the weather reports, where we throw some headlines your way, describe the news story a little bit. This is stuff that actually was in the news, and you decide whether or not it should have been news.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You can
So-
use whatever criteria you'd like, by the way.
The last one, I don't even remember what criteria they were using, but I was like, so what do you think? That's news? He goes, no, I hate it. That was the end of it.
That's all.
That was his whole reason.
all it takes. Sure.
So I'm going to open it up with dentist helps remove man's penis from a wrench after all other efforts failed.
Okay.
I know what your question is, and I'll get to it.
Okay.
I know what your question is.
Oh, I gotta ask.
Let's see. As if getting his penis stuck in a wrench wasn't embarrassing enough,
Yeah.
the guy had to get help from various different groups to have it freed. Firefighters came in. They had an angle grinder, but that... No, you don't want that anywhere near your parts.
No.
Because, that'll heat up the metal real bad.
Yeah,
and
I would have
cook
said I'll just keep the wrench. I'm good.
You have a roasted sausage there.
Well, it is summer.
He went into the hospital in Linhai City, China, around 9:30. After about 24 hours,
Yeah.
his penis had been swollen and turned purple until they finally realized that the only type of drill that they could use was a dentist drill, because it has a water spray jet in it to naturally cool what they're drilling on.
Sure.
So they got firefighters in on it.
Yeah.
They got a doctor in on it.
Okay.
Finally, they called a dentist and they got him out of the fucking
Brain
wrench.
trust.
And the last thing it says in the entire article, it is not known why he had the wrench on his penis.
You answered the question, because my question was going to be, how did you get to a dentist? Like, at that point, you said all other failed efforts. So it's like he went to the doctor and they were like, fuck off. And he went to like Burger King and they were like, why is there a wrench on your penis? And he's like, just give me a Whopper, for God's sake. And,
Maybe
but
he just chose a cheap, shitty wrench. And so because it was so poor, it couldn't be gotten off easily.
That's true.
Had he gone for the highest end,
If he had
wouldn't
like
have
a
failed.
Craftsman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like, the problem I always have when I'm trying to use a wrench, I always grab the wrong size.
Indeed.
That's the problem.
So what do you think? News? Not news?
No, I'm gonna say no. It reminds me of
No, I
like
hate it. I got it.
the 2017 version of the old sitcom trope where the kid gets his head stuck in the stairwell rails.
Oh, yeah.
And they need the butter to get him out.
Did they try butter? They should have tried butter.
I'm sure he had some sort of lubricant.
We'll see.
Before and after.
All right. All right. I have one that I think is absolutely news. City police are asking for information from the public regarding an electronic monitoring bracelet discovered on a street corner Saturday evening. The bracelet was found around 5:30 p.m. on Avon Avenue and South 17th Street, according to a statement from the New York Public Safety Director, Anthony F. Ambrosia.
What?
So long story short, they found an ankle monitor and they don't know whose it is, which seems to me to indicate that they're not working.
That's
like
the whole point of an ankle monitor.
Like, you should be able to track that down pretty quick, because you could just say, who took off their ankle monitor?
Or at least figure out who's missing. What happened to this person?
Right.
What if they're in danger?
Was nobody concerned that Luis was sitting on the street corner for like 8 hours doing nothing? Like, like, there should be a beep that's like beep, beep. You know, he's been sitting there for like 3 days.
We should probably go pick him up.
We should probably check out if
Probably
he's
hungry.
alive. Like, and then they come to the point where they get it. There's got to be a number on it. Like, how did you? They go, which bracelet's not moving? Like, this isn't hard.
Or like it's got like the letter A written on it and 1, 2, 3. Hey, who is assigned to A 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
That's Frank. Where is Frank?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, apparently they don't know who belongs to this monitoring anklet, which means I think all the people on ankle monitors just take them off. They're obviously not working.
That's right. That person's actually a hero.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not very stylish, so I guess you should be able to remove them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What if you want to go out at night in a town?
Yeah, exactly. What if it doesn't match your dress?
Yeah, no, it makes
And
sense.
you're a man.
Certainly, if the state of New Jersey can't track you down if you remove it,
No, not at all.
one wouldn't feel all that.
Seems
threatened by it.
logical.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know for a fact that you can take your ankle monitor off without any repercussions at all.
Why'd you take it off? Well, I didn't want you to know where I was.
Right.
Solid reason.
Why'd you
Had
take
some
your
shit
ankle
to do.
bracelet off?
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast and they said I could. So the question is it news?
No, that's just sad.
That's the entire monitoring system goes down and is not working. Not news. You're a tough
It's
one.
just
You
sad.
know that.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah. This is gonna be a long night.
A cure for death? Company aims to bring brain-dead people back to life next year. In India, they are using various concoction of chemicals and the liberal application of stem cells to wake up brain-dead patients to regenerate neural tissue.
Oh.
And I'm convinced that this is the beginning of the end because every zombie movie begins just like that.
Right. I got a good idea.
We got a cure for cancer.
Bad idea.
I Am Legend.
If it works, there's going to be a bunch of people in this world going, "Oh, we shouldn't have pulled that plug." Like, right? Because that's the point. They go, "Oh, he's brain dead," and they go, "Oh, well, there's no way he's coming back." So
I heard a joke actually. It was an old man yells at a kid, Your generation is too reliant on technology," and he says, "Well, so is yours," and he unplugs him.
Well, it's almost like you bring the people back, and then that guilt of those decision makers just shoots the suicide rate up because they're like, "Well, fuck me."
right, exactly.
And then we got the same problem.
Same problem. They all
People
shoot
in need of organ donations are like, well.
this worked out.
So the guy's like, "Hey, why'd you pull the plug? I'm alive.
Yeah.
So what the hell you doing?"
Now, if they could bring people back to life who had the plug pulled, then we're one step further because those people are going to come back
I
and
think
be
that
like,
is actual zombies.
right. If they come back, they'd be like, we're going to need to talk for a minute. I'm not happy with the decision.
You were pretty rude back there,
Yeah.
and I'd like to address what happened. So what do you think, news?
I
Not news?
definitely think that's news.
Oh, suck on that, Keith! What do you mean that's news?
Oh, my
given,
goodness.
Given where the world seems to be going,
Zombie apocalypse
I would-
is news.
that would at least be something good.
All right, fair enough. Here's what is my favorite story. I found this last week and we didn't get to it, and I really wanted to get to it. A man receives ticket after hitting 88 miles per hour in his DeLorean.
Not only was he disappointed with the results, but he got the ticket.
Yes. Spencer White has wanted a DeLorean since he saw it in Back to the Future. He got the car about a month ago and was taking his mom for a ride. He looked down and saw that he was going 85 miles per hour, apparently unwittingly, and figured it'd be easy to get to 88. Then the police officer who pulled him over asked if he had a flux capacitor in the car, and they all had a good laugh, and then he got a ticket.
Douche.
You know, he was like,
He got
"It's a
it."
DeLorean. It's 88 miles."
He just pulled it over because it was a DeLorean going 88 miles an hour. You know how many cops I have heard say, like, I pulled over, what's the car in Dukes ahead? Washington Lee?
General Lee.
General Lee.
Yeah.
Washington Lee's a high school. General Lee, I pulled over General Lee because I saw it. Like, come on. Come on. Let the DeLorean go just this once.
Yeah, you would think that
This is
you could-
America.
if you're going 88 miles per hour in a DeLorean, miles per hour in a DeLorean, you should just at that moment, you get a free pass. If you slow down or you go faster, you get a ticket.
You go to 89,
Yeah.
or if you drop to like 87 without dropping down to like back to like 70
Yeah.
to the speed limit.
Without braking. Yeah.
You should have told the cop, well, I was just about to go back to 1973.
Yeah. Then
But you stopped me like an asshole.
yeah, I was going to solve this whole Trump thing. And then
Now I'm just gonna go back and prevent you from ever being born.
That's right.
yeah.
What a douche.
Oh, just personal nostalgia. I'd have to call that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got news.
Yeah.
I think the
news.
guy should have said, just so you know, in the future, this road is 88 miles an hour.
So you know, in the future, you don't make it. So I got one for you. The Germans, genius Germans, they're building a beer pipeline so that they get into this metal festival. It's a 4-mile long pipeline. They dug a trench. They put in a pipeline with several like veins in it.
Yeah.
So it's literally like the longest beer tap ever.
Uh-huh.
Since Prohibition.
So right.
Sure.
So that they can save gas on beer trucks.
Okay.
And it saves the environment. And it's fucking genius.
Out of curiosity, on the factory side, is it just a big funnel?
I hope so. I think there's got to be some way to pull, pressure it through.
Sure.
But I'm thinking like,
You
oh,
hold it up.
yeah. Chug, chug, chug. My hand's getting tired. Hurry up.
The whole festival.
3 more miles. But with all the disasters going on with these pipelines being put in, like
Yeah.
the one pipeline that they protested all last year, and then they were just like, yep, it's happening.
Yeah.
I feel like the environmental dangers of this one is just more happiness.
Right. Oh, no. There's literally people protesting right now, and they're like, what do we want? Spills.
Right. A cheaper pipeline.
Yeah, we need leaks and cups.
I think it's a pretty good idea, though. What do
Yeah.
you think? What do you think?
Definitely news. yeah.
Patrick?
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely news. All right. He's coming around for us. All right. This one I think is brilliant in my personal opinion. People rescued after trapped in an apartment because their stairs were removed.
What?
Yes. So
Like purposefully removed?
yeah.
Stair
So
removal?
the tenants of a second floor apartment complex were told that there would be no stairs until Thursday. However, many of the people in the apartment did not actually get the notice. So they all woke up to the sound of construction the next day and no stairs. So
No big deal.
so they were just so then they had to be rescued because they're a story. Now, first of all, it seems like you could easily just get out of that, but apparently they needed to call people to let them down with ladders and stuff.
Get some bed sheets?
Yeah,
I'm on
I
this.
mean, like, I could jump
Stripper
that.
pole.
I feel like I could jump that. I don't like. I'd lower myself down a little and then let go. But yeah. So it's amazing how dependent we are. You're one story up, they take the stairs away, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Here's a trampoline. Get the fuck over it.
Right. So be careful. If somebody takes your stairs away, you may be trapped. That is what we've learned from this cautionary tale.
Sometimes you just got to stare danger in the face. And
Right.
I'm turning into you. Oh my God. My therapist says you're bad for me.
Yeah.
And
You know
now
what they should have done?
This is why it's happening.
They should have slid down the railing.
Step
it would've
outside
been
your comfort
super
zone.
easy.
Step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So it's a silly event. Is it news?
No.
though? No.
Dude.
Oh,
Dude.
all right. So
You've been shut out.
I know pretty
Oh,
much.
wait. No, you didn't.
I got
you
one. I got one.
Yeah, okay.
And this one is absolutely news. So Cecilia Wessel snapped a picture of her husband Theonis. I think that's how you'd say it. Theunis.
Frank.
Theonis. Frank on Friday evening. Here's the interesting thing about that. He was mowing his lawn, and this kind of goes into our category of guys doing incredible things.
Wait, is there a bear in the story?
No, there's not a bear, but
Did he punch a bear in the face?
He didn't.
Trash
He
panda.
just mowed the lawn in front of a tornado.
What?
There's literally a picture of him casually mowing his lawn while there is a full-blown twister happening behind him.
Did he notice? Did he just not
He has
notice?
turned his
It's
back
a log
to it.
machine.
His back is to it. That's
Yeah,
how
his back to well,
he doesn't give a shit.
his quote was, let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah, that's right.
had to do some lawn work, keeping an eye on the tornado. Everybody else is just like in the basement, just barely peeking out. Is it near us? Is it close? I mean, it's not like the next road over,
Sure.
but it's close enough that you're like, that's a tornado and it's not far.
And those things aren't exactly slow. That could head in your direction. You're in a bad place real fast.
Yeah, but you have a lawnmower. You can protect yourself.
You'll keep an eye on it.
Damn, this thing was when he next came out of his house, it was all black and white.
Oh, God damn it.
Old school. Nothing.
Yeah. He says, it looks much closer if you look at the photo. It was really far away. Well, not really far away, but it was far away from us. It wasn't that far away.
And instead of telling her husband to come inside like a normal person, she decides to take a photo.
Sure.
Oh, no. She was like, and this is going to take the place of divorce. This is for the insurance company.
Given how wide the field looks, I love that his fence in is just so no one fucks with his property line.
Yeah.
There's like 10 acres you can see in that picture.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's still, I would say maybe a half mile away, something like that. But at what point do you go, that's a twister, I'm going inside? Apparently.
Right. Those things, I don't know. The average speed of a twister is, let's say, 60 miles per hour.
Faster than a lawnmower.
In 1 minute, it could be upon you.
Yeah.
You know?
No, absolutely. It's like he needed it to be able to deliver mail. Like if it's that close, he's like,
important.
I'm going inside. It's a little blustery.
I'm finished here.
It's all blustery.
So the question is,
Yes.
is it news?
1,000 times.
Yeah!
Yeah. Look at you.
I think we tied it up.
We did.
Yeah. Did you have anything last? Are we good? I think we're set.
That's all I got for this week.
I do have this week in China. I know that we try and do news from China. Live donkey fed to tigers in China zoo after a dispute. Yeah.
What?
We don't have time to go into it, but that happened in China this week. So,
Okay.
yes, back to other things that haven't happened in China. Again, we have the
Democracy.
we have the very talented Patrick from Roundabout here in studio.
That's me.
So tell us a little bit about this band. If you were to describe it to a room full of nuns, how would you? Yeah.
Dirty, filthy bastards. No,
You'd say, is it the devil's music?
no, most
It's
definitely not.
It's not. Okay.
Actually, that would make us a lot more badass if somebody did describe it that way. We do mostly melodic pop and rock.
Okay,
So it's
great.
very easily digestible, I would say.
Mhm.
We've been around for 7 years now. We've put out 2 albums, and this fall we'll be going in to make our 3rd one.
Okay.
And
Where do you record at? Are you doing this yourselves, or are you going out to a studio in the area?
yeah, this one we're going to do in Arlington at Recording Arts.
Oh, beautiful. That's a
Yeah.
great place. Marco, right?
Marco's the man.
Delmar, I think.
That's right.
Marco Delmar.
The one and only.
And what do you play,
Marco.
Patrick from Roundabout?
I play the rhythm guitar and I sing most of the songs, but our bass player also sings a few as well. And on those tunes, I play bass.
Songwriting, do you guys share that duties, or is it you have a single
He
songwriter?
said duty.
Very good. Yes, the 3 of the 4 of us write songs, so it's sort of like everybody throws into the pot, and
Okay.
what we all agree sucks the least. That's what we...
That's interesting. So you might have a lot of different, shall we say, speakers in
Exactly,
your music
yeah.
throughout
And-
the album. That's pretty cool.
And that's been something that's been true in every band I've been in. I love multiple songwriters. It's why, even though I typically write the majority of it, I never would want the band to be my
Just
name
you.
or anything like that. It's always the more the better, I think.
So we've got the entire track at the end of the show, so you can fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show. But we wanted to play a little sample of it. Tell us a little bit about this. Is this one of the ones you wrote, or?
Yeah, My Grand Designs is a song. It's actually a great example of a song I was okay about, but only once the band got a hold of it did it really perk my ears up and get my attention. It's basically a song about a meet cute, which is a term I just discovered in the past
That's
year.
different than a meat cart.
Yeah, because I'm an old person, I didn't know what a meet cute was. But anyway, the song is basically about
I'm an old person too. What's a
Yeah.
a meet cute is like the premise of all rom-coms where people sort of meet by happenstance.
Oh.
And so the song is intended to sort of make you think it's about that, but it has a twist.
Oh,
by
excellent.
Patrick from Roundabout and the Roundabout Gangs.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
So this is a little snippet from My Grand Designs.
I happened to see her by mistake. I did my best not to fixate. Impression she left I couldn't shake. Not even a day that I could wait to call her and ask her for
You're right. There's definitely a pop kind of sensibility to this. There's a bounce to it that I could see people out at the market dancing, especially 4-year-olds.
That's right.
Um,
Actually, that's one of the few our
Very
guitarist does a whole bunch of hopping around.
Oh, does
So,
he?
For my own enjoyment, I like watching him.
So you're just staring at him awkwardly. Now, is that you singing?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So again, if you guys would like to hear the entire track, fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this podcast, and you can hear all of my grand design from Patrick from Roundabout. So also, last but not least, I assume this is something that you'll be playing at your show on Saturday. Is
Yes.
that right? So Saturday, June 17th at Westover Market in Arlington, Virginia. Check them out. More music and more details about the band at www.roundaboutrocks.com. And without further ado, that brings us to this week in history.
So in and around this date in history, more than 0 things happened. So we did
true.
a little research, uncovered some interesting tidbits, and you get to decide what is the most relevant thing historically from this list of nonsense that we give you.
By the way, I agreed with last week's Sgt. Pepper's.
Sergeant Pepper's.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh,
That
there
was
you
the
go.
winner.
I went home and I fixed the hole. In the route that, yeah.
Took you long enough.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I planned to do it when I was 64, but I'm going to shut up now.
So this week we'll be starting in the year 1638, which is going to take you 88 miles per hour to get to because it's way back in time. An earthquake and blood moon signaled the end of the world.
Dun, dun, dun.
The greatest earthquake recorded in New Hampshire and one of the strongest of the 17th century U.S. colonies strikes. It is estimated that it would have measured between 6.5 and 7 on the Richter scale. The tremors lasted for 3 weeks,
Jesus.
ending just in time for a full eclipse of the moon on June 25th.
Followed by a total eclipse of the heart.
Yes. Turn around.
Your mother should know.
which appeared blood red in the sky. The Puritans believed it was a biblical sign of the end of the world.
Sure.
And per end of time prophecies such as Revelations 6:12, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as the sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Or Acts 2:20, the sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before coming of the great and glorious day of the Lord.
Dun, dun, dun.
So yeah, so everyone said, oh my God, the end of the world's coming. And then as every prediction up to this point, didn't happen.
Womp womp.
Yeah. So that was 1638, but disappointing. Not
They
end
were
of the
about
world.
400 years early.
Yes, at least. Or billions, perhaps. So we fast forward to 1851. Thank you very much. We need a sound effect for that, Adam, at some point, Engineer Adam. First baseball team to wear uniforms. There you go. The New York Knickerbockers.
What?
Yep. First ones to wear uniforms. Before that, all nude.
Shut up.
No, I
Shut
don't.
up.
I have no idea. I guess I just went out there just in like
No, that's not right, because there's no way that a man with 4 balls can possibly walk.
they just went out in pantaloons. I don't know. I don't know what was going on before. Did they have top hats? That was the first time they did. How did they tell each other apart? They're like, are you on my team? Yeah, we're good. I'm just sitting here by this base.
I'm not on his team.
Yeah, right. So
I can see you with my monocle, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I haven't seen you before.
you said monocles.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Which, for the record, if you had 2 monocles, it's just a pair of glasses.
Binocle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
1869. Thomas Edison, the soon-to-be famous inventor, is granted his first patent. Yay! Any guesses what his first patent was for?
Was not the light bulb.
Nope, not the light bulb.
The
Blood. It was blood. He invented blood. No, okay, that's not true at all. There was no blood before this. No,
iPod.
He invented.
He invented the iPod.
No,
Sure.
no, that's not true. He invented baseball uniforms.
Ah.
Yeah. He
Penis
went
wrench.
back in time.
Yeah.
In his DeLorean
Uh-huh.
after he got a goddamn ticket.
No, he just
Penis
patented
wrench.
them. They'd been around for a while, but he
Penis
got the patent.
wrench.
No, an electrical vote recorder.
Oh.
Although his vote recorder was a failure, never used, Edison went on to invent many other famous devices. as you may
Show
know,
off.
one of those being blood.
All right, let's fast forward. Going to go about 150 years here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, 1 year.
It's like 1 year.
1870, after Thomas Edison. Right. Istanbul, then Constantinople, not Istanbul. It was then Constantinople.
Then Constantinople.
Burns.
What?
A huge section of the city of Constantinople, Turkey, now Istanbul,
Yep.
is set ablaze on this day in 1870.
Not Constantinople.
When the smoke finally cleared, 3,000 homes and 900 people were gone. The fire began at home when this little girl was trying to carry a hot coal
Yeah.
from the fireplace to the kitchen, to the stove.
In her hand.
In her hand, yes. No, she tripped and fell. It flew out the window and landed on the roof of the house below. And then everything went to shit real fast because it's real fucking hot. in
How old
Turkey.
was she?
Let's see. She was 7.
So you know that what happened is she fell. She threw the coal out the window by accident, and her parents were like, "Whoa, what just happened?" She was like, "Nothing.
Don't worry.
fine.
Nothing. No one.
We're
Nowhere.
good. We're fine." And there's just you see flames coming up behind her, and she's like, "It's good. We're fine. I didn't do anything. I was just here standing by the window." Because 7-year-olds are liars.
High winds. Definitely. Super hot area.
No, absolutely not going to work out
Ruined
very well.
everyone's day.
And then that's when we started learning maybe we should stop making cities out of flammable shit.
Or let any woman out of the kitchen ever.
Whoa!
Speaking of which, in 1919, on this date, dun, 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 the 19th Amendment is finally ratified, allowing women the right to vote. Hooray! And they've been burning down our cities ever since.
And after 100 years or so of being able to vote, look where we ended up.
Completely back in 1919.
Good job, ladies.
All right.
Nice job. We
Should we?
hand over the reins, and this is what you give us.
Right. It's only been 100 years.
Yeah,
The planet's warmer.
I know.
Our leadership is shit.
Yeah, remember the good old days? Why can't it be back like that? When we could,
And they tried to change the flavor of Coke.
when
Come
we
on.
could like own people, and we could. Okay, that wasn't okay. We
I don't know
weren't.
if those were good times.
Yeah, we weren't as good as we thought.
People are really hard to maintain.
Remember when we were like super racist? That was so much fun, and it was cool. Like you could be racist, and now you have to like do it under your breath.
I don't
Thanks,
think you have to do
ladies.
that anymore, actually.
Yeah.
It's okay to be racist again, apparently.
It is. You get to become politicians.
Moving right
yeah.
along, in 1949,
Wow.
1984 was published, which
Well, damn it. That
30
wasn't
years
done
later
well.
came true.
Yeah.
Yay!
Gets more
My
disturbing.
favorite quote is the final and best lie they ever told was to not believe your own eyes and ears. And I'm like, that's oddly reminiscent
Yeah.
of modern days.
No,
This is
fake news.
extremely concerning.
That is fake news, what you're telling me right now.
I'm the decider.
That whole book.
That is an
Fake.
alternate fact. That quote is an alternate fact.
All right. Well, 40 years later, in 1981,
Yeah.
actually, more like, a train can't stop the cow train is
What?
the title of this.
What the
I
hell is
decided.
that?
In 1981,
How is
train
this historical?
avoids hitting cow,
That's not historical at
but
all.
kills 600 people.
What?
Wow.
What the hell?
In India,
What the
is a
fuck
train
is
of
happening?
a 9-car passenger train.
Yeah.
is going. It's pretty much monsoon weather, so it's really slick rails. It's hard to see, and the Hindu conductor
Yeah.
sees a cow step out onto the tracks. I don't know if you know, but cows are sacred in the Hindu religion. So he slams
Yes.
on the brake, and it's far too slick to stop in time.
Yeah.
The train derails. About 7 of the 9 cars fall over a bridge and into the river, which it's monsoon weather. So it's way higher than it should be. All those cars sink straight to the bottom. And it's like really dark, rushing, murky water. Help was hours away. So they were pulling up bodies for 3 weeks.
Jeez.
600 people die. Good news is The cow made it just fine.
I don't know if I like the cable car dilemma that they have over there in India. Have you heard of the cable car dilemma?
No, but I bet that cow was real delicious.
Yeah.
That one in particular was super tasty.
Took my joke.
No one.
Sorry, Patrick, for
Damn it.
roundabout.
We're professionals. But you guys have never heard of this, so it's a thought like experiment, right? Where you have like a cable car and it's speeding along, right? And like you have 3 people on the main line, like workers working on something, and so it's like, oh, if you flip the switch in the tracks, the cable car veers off to a different direction. You save 3 guys' lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go, oh, I'm totally going to do that, right? Like 100 times out of 100 times. And then the next one is like, okay, what if there is another dude just on the other track? So now there's
3 versus 1.
3 people on one track and 1 person on the other track. Do you flip the switch?
Yep.
If you do nothing, it
Especially-
has nothing to do with you, right?
Especially if it's Engineer Adam.
You have nothing. Well, yeah, then you flip the switch even if there aren't people on the other line.
Right.
Right? There's a free track and Engineer Adam on the other track, and you're like, flip. And so then they start going through other things. Like, what if on the other track it's a child? So 3 men, but a child. Now do you flip the switch?
You want to watch that 4-year-old dance at the Patrick from Roundabout show.
Yes.
So, yeah, you kill the 3 guys.
See?
Always.
Okay,
every time.
what if it's we say like 6 guys? We're doubling it up, okay? 6 people's lives on the other track. It's one of your parents.
Are you kidding me? My parents are awesome. And there's an overpopulation problem in India.
See, so it gets really tricky. Like you think it's like, oh, yeah, just gonna do the.
That's not tricky at all. Sorry, you haven't stumped me yet, Keith.
No, but what you said before, 1 for 3, no problem.
Yeah.
You said 1 for 3 every time, doing it that way.
That's 'cause
And then I said,
I don't trust
you now
men.
know that person who's 1, or they're a child, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do the 3 now.
Fair.
See how that's interesting?
Yup.
Theirs is apparently like there's 600 people over here and a cow.
He potentially could have killed. There were about 1,000 people on the train.
Yeah.
And 400 of them made it.
And in his brain, he went, I mean, 1,000 people. Let's
I don't know
murder
what
them.
to do. I'm going to hit the brakes. And
You think that
hopefully
conductor felt good? His conscience was fine,
Oh, no, he did.
He did.
He's super dead.
He's fine.
Guy died.
but
Yeah.
but he
He's
was
dead.
but he was happy with his decision.
You hope that, like in the big pearly grates, it opens up and there's just a cow god going, "You nailed it."
Yeah,
Well
you have
done,
passed.
sir.
Yes, you're in here. All the ice cream you want.
Have a delicious cheeseburger.
Oh, there's a pillow fight. Pillow fight.
Yeah, it's all fresh from my udders. So
It's an utter disaster.
yeah,
Oh, very good.
yeah. No, that was terrible. Don't.
You said
encourage him.
ATM machine like 268 times
Because
last
it-
show.
it makes
You're
you-
going to die.
It makes you angry. All right, 1990. Last but not least, Dr. Jack Kevorkian uses his suicide machine for the first time.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. I don't even know what the headline was. I stopped listening because the hatred just that piercing sound just
Yes.
is ringing in my ears.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're saying right
Is he
now.
called Suicide Doctor MD?
Yes, he is. Yeah. Suicide Dr. MD. Alzheimer's patient or Alzheimer's disease sufferer Janet Adkins gives herself a fatal injection by pressing a button on Kevorkian's machine. She dies. Later, by the way, I don't remember exactly how much further it was. I think about a decade. He ended up going to jail for murdering people by letting them hit buttons and kill themselves, which is a weird thing. I don't.
Assisted suicide again, whatever.
Yeah, it's super weird to like go to jail for like helping somebody do a thing that they want to do, but it's super illegal apparently. So
Apparently you're bad. Bad.
yeah, so that is what we have for this week in history. Oh, this is I think, the first time we've actually stopped early.
Yeah, we're on time by like 30 seconds.
That's crazy.
Oh my
Although, for the record, we have not gotten the final vote as to who Patrick from Roundabout feels is the most important historical event. So, what would you say, Patrick?
I
from
would.
Roundabout?
It's kind of a downer, but I'd have to say the 1984. Just the parallels that surround us is.
Makes me
That's-
sad.
I find
That's
that
more
impactful.
important than the invention of blood.
just by a hair.
But come on, I titled that. You can't stop the cow train.
That's true.
Well, that's badass, certainly.
So what you're
Fine.
saying is
We'll go with the novel.
it's more important for that novel to come out than it is for
Stopping the cow train.
for people to play baseball clothed. You would
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
have to watch naked baseball.
I mean, Edison failing is pretty unique, but 1984 is. I mean, again,
All right.
you can't even read that book now.
No.
It's like,
The
well, this
movie
isn't
is
fiction.
so much better.
This isn't fiction.
No.
Now
Have you
I'm
seen the
scared.
movie? Oh, it's brilliant. It's called C-SPAN.
Very good. Very good.
So all right. So we found out that the most important thing that happened in the history of the world this week is a book.
That's like the most culturally oriented thing we've ever had
No,
on the show.
last time it was an album.
And before that, it was butter.
I don't think I like your tone.
All right. So we, again, as you guys have already figured out, because you're listening to this entire podcast and probably not skipping around too much, we have Patrick from
hope.
Roundabout.
And the Roundabout Gang.
In the Roundabout Gang, in the pile of roundabouts, the bundle of roundabout hookers.
Patrick from
Wow.
Roundabout in DuPont Circle.
Yes. And you have a show coming up Saturday, June 17th at Westover Market in Arlington, Virginia. Also Friday, June 30th in Silver Spring, and Saturday, July 15th in Gaithersburg, Maryland. To get more information about all of those shows and hear some more music, go to roundaboutrocks.com. Again, you can also fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this podcast to hear their track, My Grand Designs. What I'd like to do now, Patrick, is just dive into the deepest depths of your gray matter.
Sure.
And just swim around.
Yeah.
And
What you do on your spare time is you all you, Keith.
oh, that's right. We have an interview to do. Okay, so
right now,
instead,
I think we should play a game called The Five Senses.
that makes more sense now that I think about it.
According to Keith, anyway, apparently all of our memories are absorbed through one of our senses.
Sure.
Remarkable as that may seem.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna each pick a sense, and you do your best to think of something awesome that has happened to you in the music scene that is that comes to mind when you
Sure.
think of that sense.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
Keith,
so let's start with the softball of all of the senses. The most dominant of our senses, the sense of sight. Is there something that you have seen doing music, rehearsals in studio, something related to kind of what you do musically that is so horrifying that you've remembered it, or so wonderful that you've remembered it, or so weird that it comes to mind?
There's both. There's a good and a bad. The good is,
I'll take both.
Yeah, the good as cheesy as this may sound, but
Yeah.
it's more an extension of expectations management. The
4-year-olds dancing.
the first
it's
time-
4-year-olds dancing, isn't it?
The first time we played at IOTA and actually being on that part of the stage instead of the 100 times I was just watching somebody on the stage.
Oh yeah.
Playing IOTA the first time was an unforgettable sight for me and what I wanted to accomplish. That was a big deal and still is a big deal.
For those who don't know, IOTA is a kind of a smaller club. What, about 200 people maybe?
that's,
on a good day?
in Arlington, right?
In Arlington.
If I'm not mistaken, IOTA's closing.
Well,
No,
they might
they're-
be. Yeah, there's a whole renovation happening there.
Okay.
It may move locations. I don't
Yeah.
think it's closing.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know that part. So I
But
was
they're
gonna be real
but they're
sad.
fighting. They're fighting it.
But it's pretty historic. They've had a lot of really great acts come through there. A lot of that kind of rock, pop, folk, singer-songwriter stuff happens there in Arlington. And yeah, I could see how that is. It's really iconic.
It's an achievement for a band like ours.
Yeah,
I would say that.
absolutely. So you looked out onto the crowd and thought,
Yeah, and
hey,
I was like, finally,
I'm here.
Like stuff that I'm doing is somebody thought it was good enough to be heard in this place, and that made me feel like
it's
you know,
always nice
yeah.
when you hit those things that you're like, if this happens,
Yeah.
I feel like I've made it.
that's right.
We hit 2,000 downloads, which was pretty great, even though
Outstanding.
Victor just yelled 1,000 downloads.
Did I yell 1,000?
Yeah, but you're an idiot.
God
so,
damn it.
The
Hold on. Nope. Stop the podcast. We got to do it again.
technically, since we hit a 2,000 downloads, we also hit 1,000 downloads half ago.
Damn it.
So the horrifying.
Yes.
The horrifying was not me. This was a bandmate in a old band.
Sure
we
it
were
was.
playing a festival. I promise
It's a
you it
friend
was.
of mine.
we're at a festival. We're about to start. My bandmate says got to go take care of some business real quick before we go on.
Right.
The
Nerves.
Porta-John says open, vacant, rips open the door, in use. And it's the organizer of the entire festival.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
Just closes it up and says, sorry.
Oh no! I would have taken an extra beat though, just to like try and repair any relations, and just held it over and like, nice dick, and then like,
Yeah, that really would have repaired relations.
because he would have been like, oh no!
That's right.
Here's
Oh,
a wrench.
thank you.
Here's a wrench. Do something with the wrench.
I appreciate that. Thank
Doing
you.
a fine job in there.
Yeah, assuming that it was a man, of course. Because if you said
Right.
that to a woman, it might be a little off-putting.
Well,
nice dick, lady.
I just love that he shared the story with us.
yeah,
I would have kept that to myself.
yeah.
And it's really, I mean, if you don't make a big deal of it, it could have been like fire and forget. Like, damn, okay, my bad. And you go into the next one, and then you completely
Yeah.
erase
Well,
it from
just-
your
Yeah,
consciousness.
just watching him play the first song, it's like, is he okay? Looks a little shaken up.
I've
Yeah.
seen some shit, and most of it was that
Literally,
guy's
yeah.
shit.
Exactly.
It would have been great if the story had been like, I opened the door, it's the goddamn organizer. So I used the bathroom.
exactly.
Like, hand me the toilet paper.
Which was real weird, let me tell you. That guy does not share
Right.
space as well.
Right. You mind if I just use this urinal on the side? Sure. I have to poop.
At that point, can you give me a second there, Haas? You gotta be as condescending as possible.
So I pushed it over. Never did like this festival.
I'm now using Haas to be an asshole from now on.
Hey,
That's
what's going on,
outstanding.
Haas?
Oh, Haas. Like, yeah.
So, all right, how about here's an easy one for musicians.
Yeah.
The auditory sense.
Ooh. Everybody's got stories of not hearing yourself, but there were a couple times in the old days where bands, and most of my bands sort of share a pop kind of thing, and meaning we're not a heavy band, but we would find ourselves sometimes in heavy clubs and just it was as if they were expecting Metallica, and so us trying to do our poppy melodic things, which require a little bit of hearing, and it would truly sound like the Peanuts teacher on speed and quicksand, and it was just like a blur of noise where the audience was almost like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, we did a show at Nation back when that was around. It was a battle of the bands. You went and we sound checked, right? For Emergenza, I think is what it was called.
Oh, shit.
And we sound checked.
That's the first show that I ever saw you guys at. Yeah.
So we sound checked ahead of time, right? And then everybody filled in. We went to do our set. Now all the other bands are like all rock and everything. They're going through all of the amps that they've got there. So there's guitar amps, and bass amps. We're almost all acoustic. So we've got like a bass amp, we've got the drums in the back, right? But then vocals, guitar, cello, all of that is going through the monitors. We can't hear any of it.
Oh yeah.
And so you can't like in the middle of a battle of bands be like, yeah, everybody, yeah, thanks for coming out. Turn all of that up. Just keep going, more. Because you only got like 10 minutes, you can do like 3 songs. So we powered through. We're just like listening for like the drum and the bass and just going, we'll keep up.
Yeah.
And like the drum was like the snare is feeding back every time he hit it.
Of course it is.
And so we're like, and it was not our best performance.
Dude, I was like probably 12 or 13 when I saw that show.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I was
Damn.
also 12 or 13. And then in speaking to the metal stuff, we actually won the Jack's Battle of the Bands one year, which was hilarious because it was all metal bands and then
That's
just us.
outstanding.
And we were like the most vicious of the folk bands, but that's not a really high bar. So,
You were the meanest bunny.
but it was so funny because all the bands before us are like, and we're like, ding 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 ding, we're playing our songs, and people were like, we want them. The other ones can't even hear them. They're terrible.
I don't know what's happening.
Words.
Yeah, so I've had those experiences myself, definitely.
All right, I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
What?
Yeah.
The gustatory sense, the sense of taste. What?
Ooh.
Like, we've had anything from band pasta to what was it, that really shitty meal at like 3 a.m. after a show that's super satisfying.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the late night meal after a show, those are always great.
No, it's just early 20s, got free chicken wings half hour before the show.
Yeah.
Big fail.
Big fail.
fail.
Oh, no.
Oh, I hurled for hours.
I thought you were going to be like, winner. Like, I get free chicken wings, which are the most delicious of all the chicken wings.
And they were going down.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
the
coming back
tastiest flavor.
Yeah, free.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, it's like one of those moments where you're like, I've made it. They're giving
That's
me
right.
food for free. This is great.
And that's when I learned to be very careful what I eat right before shows.
Right. You were like, I've got it. And then you were like, I'm giving it back.
Did you puke on stage?
No, I got off just in time, but again, it was.
Did you make it through the whole set?
Just barely.
Just barely.
We were opening and it was only a half hour, so it was.
Did people, were you singing?
Yeah.
So they were like, because you could have been like, and I miss you so much.
A lot of
like,
it's blocked out.
He's not doing so well up there.
Yeah.
Just sweaty and pale.
Well, no, it could work if you're one of those scream pukers who's just like,
Doing a guar thing.
yeah.
Then I threw my crap at him too.
Delightful.
All right, so let's go to this one always works well for touring bands because I don't know if you've done a lot of touring, but the sense of smell tends to get quite attacked on in tour vans.
Olfactory.
Yeah, the olfactory sense. What do you have for us?
Not so much in tour vans, just after shows in a green room when we're going over what happens and you're just looking around saying, well, that's me.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, fellas.
before a show in a green room as well, because green rooms just have a smell, right?
That's
like,
true.
There's like, you can walk into a green room and be like, bands have been here before. They like mark their territory with like sweat and beer.
I'll one up that. Metal bands have been here before.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Right.
You know, there were
Smells
some
like Edison.
There were some places where we there were some places that were like Spinal Tap, and there were different smells based on how far you were walking because you went through multiple corridors and rooms.
Oh wow, there were like layers of smells.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I just walked through ska.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, dude. I'm going to walk through ska again.
Right. Dude, I'm in reggae right now. There's so much reggae here.
Oh, metal. Gotta go. I have been hugged by our engineer after one of his shows, since apparently we discovered that he's in a band as well. He lied to us.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I was hugged by that guy post-show.
Oh,
Don't be anywhere near him.
No.
He's so excited and happy and sweaty.
Yeah, they always are. People would come up to me after shows and like want to give me a hug, and I'm like, oh, you don't want to do that. I'm sorry.
And they don't believe you.
I like you. You're lovely, and that's why you don't want to do this right now. All right, so we have just a little bit of time left, but I think we've made it through almost all of our senses. Last but not least, the sense of touch.
One of the very first times I ever performed in high school at a music club, I was not aware that there was some grounding issues, and I stepped up to the mic for the very first time.
Oh, that's the worst.
Got some volts right in my face and looked awesome.
Somebody else mentioned that one, and that is like a classic band touch.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows that feeling that like you go to like just a shitty like a bar, dive bar somewhere, and you're like getting ready to start. The worst is when you find out later, right? Like you've done your sound check and everything, and you like start your first chords, and you get into your first song, and then you go to sing, and it's like shock, and then I'm gonna have to just deal with this. Like, I can't correct any of this. I can't put a new chord in. I can't do anything.
I served as a conduit once too. I grabbed onto a chair that was metal, and so the voltage went through me.
And you had the mic on your lips?
No, this was separate.
What happened there?
That was in a recording studio. Again, this was way...
we ran out of time. Okay. Next time you come in, you'll have to tell us the time that you were the Electric Man.
Yeah.
All right. Because that sounds amazing. All right. So, without further ado, this week, June 16th, Yellow Tie Guy at O'Sullivan's Irish Pub in Arlington, Virginia. June 17th, Vim and Vigor at Dessinan's Brewing Company in Silver Spring, Maryland. Yellow Tie Guy at Kickbacks, Jackson, Danville, Virginia, of course. Patrick from Roundabout and his band Roundabout, Saturday, June 17th at Westover Market, Arlington, Virginia. If you please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, share us, share the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We can't do this without you. Next week, Mary Jo Miata and a pile of dudes. I believe that's how you say it. If you enjoyed the show, email us at contact@anotherwastedhour. If you hated the show, send your complaints to Reed Hastings. He will get rid of it. Thanks to Victor. Thanks also to Patrick from Roundabout. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.
I happened to see her by mistake. I did my best not to fixate. Impression she left I couldn't shake. Not even a day that I could wait to call her and ask her for a date. She told me you better not be late. I put on a suit and my best tie. The dress she had on, it blew my mind. And we started up the rest of our lives. Nobody's luckier than me. That much is obvious to see. Must have been all my polished charm. It's keeping her always on my arm. I don't know what else that I could say. No one else makes me feel this way. She's more than I ever could expect. Too bad I haven't met her yet. She wasn't surprised how hard I fell, and told me I had an easy tell. She noticed the same thing in herself. We were together all the time, laying out on the grand designs. A happier pair you couldn't find. I know it's crazy to believe. How could we be so damn naive? But sometimes each other's all that you'll need. Nobody's luckier than me. That much is obvious to see. Must have been all my polished charm. It's keeping her always on my arm. I don't know what else that I could say. No one else makes me feel this way. She's more than I ever could expect. Too bad I haven't met her yet. There's nothing left to do. The dream of her just might come true.